Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the city of Hazard remembers a beloved member of the community who lost his life to COVID-19. And the vaccine deadline for employees at hospitals here in the Commonwealth quickly approaches.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Well, it's 6 o'clock on your Thursday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. We almost made it to the weekend. Almost. We're almost there. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at your forecast. And Brandon, I turn the heat on in the studio.
We can see it.
I can see it.
It's the weekend. I can see it. It's over there.
It's almost, it's like it's in view, or whatever you all say at the end of your...
That's what I say.
Yeah.
You know, where the weekend's always in view.
Yes.
Exactly. So technically it is always in view.
It is.
But right now it's...
I mean, Monday, we're already looking forward to Saturday.
Anyway, let's get into the forecast this morning and talk about what's going on with us right now. Unfortunately, the rain starting to creep across the border into parts of southern Kentucky. We're going to zoom in, take a closer look at that. Some heavier bands moving into Wayne County and then into parts of McCreary County there out of Tennessee. So be aware of that as we head through your morning drive. But most of us still on the dry side right now. There is some fog out there, even though it's not showing up on those sensors. We were showing you Pikeville earlier, and at the airport, full visibility, but at downtown at Pikeville Medical Center, not much in the way of visibility. So just be careful out there. It's in the lower elevations. Buffalo Mountain at 39 this morning here in Perry County, along with Hazard, 55 in Wise on the other end of the spectrum. Some low 40s to mid 40s up to the north, and mid to upper 40s and low 50s down to the south this morning. 63 our forecast high. We average 65 this time of the year. 78 the record set back on this day in 1989. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, the Pond Creek community in Pike County is still reeling after an unexpected COVID-19 death this week. 23-year-old Jay Cook was diagnosed with COVID-19 last week, but by Monday, he was dead. Loved ones say it was an unfair, untimely death, but they believe his heart and servant's attitude will fuel a legacy for his kids and family in the years to come.
He's been all over the county, doing everything from helping the sheriff's department to a firefighter to training for firefighters, and you won't find too many people that didn't like him. You'll find thousands of people he touched some way or another.
Visitation for Cook is tonight from 6 to 9 p.m. at R.E. Rogers Funeral Home in Belfry. A Hazard hairstylist, 59-year-old Philip Adams, died on October 13th from COVID-19 complications. I talked with his co-workers and clients who are remembering his life.
Phil was a joy, let me tell you.
Philip Adams, an avid yoga instructor and an artist when it came to cutting hair, something he loved doing for 40 years.
He was a kind soul, very giving. I mean, he taught me so much. I mean, he was basically a role model for me, really.
Brittany Taylor and Philip worked together for 10 years.
We would figure out the world's problems, you know? We would cry, we would laugh. I mean, we thought we knew it all, and if we didn't, one of us would figure it out, you know, or thought we did. But
in early August, Philip became diagnosed with COVID-19. He was placed on a ventilator where he never came off.
He didn't want to worry his family. I think he tried to save them from worry as long as he could, but when he realized he was going to be there a little longer than he thought originally, he brought them in and let them know what was going on.
Co-workers saying he was a healthy man, lifting weights and taking vitamins.
Yoga instructor, professional deep breather who teaches people how to breathe. So it is shocking that it affected him the way that it did.
Clients remembering the love and laughter that filled a room once they sat in Philip's chair.
Philip would talk, he just never made you feel any different.
An irreplaceable soul.
He was loyal to his friends, he was loyal to his clients, he was loyal to our town as well.
His spirit-filling Karma Salon and Spa.
He loved Kenny Chesney, and while we've been working, Kenny Chesney has harassed us on the radio, and we just know that that's just a sign of him saying, hey, I'm at peace.
And knowing he is at peace brings them comfort. In Perry County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News. Well, Philip did have plans to get vaccinated, but caught the virus before he could. A celebration of life was held on Sunday. Hospitals, including Baptist Health Corbin, put a COVID vaccine mandate in place for employees During the last couple months, many of the deadlines for employees to receive the shot are coming up soon. Baptist Health has mandated all of its employees are fully vaccinated by the end of October. Baptist Health President Anthony Powers says the mandate has had mostly a positive reaction by nurses and staff.
Our nurses and entire staff have just went above and beyond, and our communities embraced our hospital, and so it's been a very positive experience here.
Powers did say they had a few employees leave because of the mandate, but the numbers were not large enough to make Baptist any more short-staffed than it already was. A staff attorney who works in the state's executive branch is suing Governor Andy Beshear due to his mask mandate in state office buildings. The Lexington Herald Leader reports Dana Simmons, who works for the state's public protection cabinet, filed a lawsuit on Friday. The lawsuit claims Governor Beshear and other defendants illegally imposed the mask mandate under the guise of policy when, even though the governor's ability to issue a broader mask mandate was limited by judicial rulings and the state legislature. The defendants had not yet filed a legal reply as of Wednesday, and the case is set for a preliminary conference in Covington on Friday. It's been a little more than 1 week since the governor sent a letter to state Republican leaders asking for a work group to create an essential workers bonus plan. The bonus plan would use $400 million in federal funding to give bonuses to frontline essential workers employed throughout 2 years of the pandemic. The governor announced earlier this week that the request for a committee was declined.
It's really unfortunate. I believe that those essential workers who have spent 2 long years helping us through this pandemic, the healthcare workers, the truck drivers, the teachers, and so many others, they deserve our respect.
Republican leaders say they would rather remain more focused on efforts to fix ongoing workforce shortages for healthcare providers. Well, people are quitting their jobs for a variety of reasons. Labor experts say it could be working conditions or lack of support from management, or to stay at home with children. And here in Kentucky, the rate of people quitting is the highest in the nation. Corey Bosemere says he is quitting his security job he's worked at for more than a year because he's fed up. He says his company does not appreciate its employees, from little pay to few benefits.
I've worked 3 to 4 different time schedules for them. The list goes on. And that's basically why, people don't know how to treat people this day and age. They wonder why they can't keep people.
Now, while Kentucky has the highest quit rate, it also has the highest hiring rate, 1.2% more than the rest of the country. On top of that, Kentucky has the second most job openings in the nation when compared to how many people now have jobs. In April of 2021, American Electric Power, the company that owns Kentucky Power, announced a strategic review that could include selling the Kentucky operations. Tuesday, we learned they intend to do just that, and as a result of a competitive review process, have agreed to sell to Liberty Utilities. WYMT's Zach Hawk has more on how the sale may impact you.
Kentucky Power serves electricity to about 165,000 eastern Kentuckians in 20 counties. The sale directly impacts 360 people employed in Kentucky, all of whom will transfer to Liberty Utilities pending the sale, ensuring stable delivery of electricity.
With that level of experience and expertise already here and in place, there should be a pretty seamless transition.
Liberty provides regulated electricity, natural gas, water, and wastewater services to more than 1 million customers, mainly in 13 U.S. states and Canada. Wiseman says that Kentucky Power's priority during the transaction process is the customers of Eastern Kentucky.
There's an adjustment period here of people getting used to the information, but we are continuing to provide power to the 165,000 customers that serve Eastern Kentucky.
The sale is worth nearly $3 billion in enterprise value, which would net AEP about nearly $1.5 billion. In Hazard, Zach Hawk, WYMT, Mountain News.
The sale is subject to regulatory approvals from the Kentucky Public Service Commission and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. The transaction is also subject to federal clearance pending approval. Company officials at AEP said the sale is expected to close in the summer of 2022.
6:09 here on this Thursday morning. We continue to track just a little bit of rain across parts of the southern half of the area. It's sticking across the border there from Tennessee. Heavier band there moving through parts of southern Wayne County and right there near the McCreary County line. So be aware of that this morning. Temperatures 39 Hazard, 55 Wise, 40 Prestonsburg, 54 Monticello, 43 Jackson, 54 Harlan. That's kind of the range this morning. 63 this afternoon. Rain chances back and forth throughout the day. Cloud cover already taking over, and they'll continue to stay pretty soggy there for a little bit at times, at least for the next few days. A drier end to October there on Halloween, but a mild start to November with temperatures rebounding back into the low 60s. Dakota?
All right, B-Rob, thank you. And thank you for joining us. The time is 6:10. More news is on the way. When we come back, a federal committee pauses its investigation into records involving the January 6th insurrection.